All right, Crockett 36. I have got some more onboard play than I've ever had in my life right now. And one of my games is a pretty intense G40. France goes first. And I have to say, I'm going to just do a recap of everything on the board. 2 anti-aircraft in western United States, infantry and mech in Hawaii. A force of carriers that came back from the victory at the Sea of Japan. Retreating from the victory at the Sea of Japan are 5 carriers. On Caroline is a tank, a mech, and an artillery. And in its shadow, there's a Anzac cruiser and destroyer. We also have Palau Island with infantry, artillery, and Philippines infantry and mech. Anzac forces down here, still the guy in New Zealand, transport in 62, and the big famous buy every turn has been transport, bomber, and tank. Anti-aircraft in Queensland, and in Java, the way station, a transport, tank, and infantry. And then over here, there's a destroyer in Malaya, as well as the British battleship. There's also a British cruiser off the Philippines. Didn't see that. Surrounding the Sea of Japan, there is 1 cruiser. 1, 2, looks like 2 destroyers, 3 subs, 2 Anzac subs, one British sub, and a transport that was able to capture Korea with 1 artillery. The Japanese did a little bit of a clenched their cheeks there. I think they've got 10, maybe 12 infantry, and I just knocked it over like a genius. 2 tanks, 3 artillery, 1 mech, 1 anti-aircraft. There's 1 more infantry right there. So it could be like 13 infantry, maybe 14. Let's see if I can do this. Painful surgery. Oh, just really careful. Okay. And then we've got 2 Chinese infantry in Manchuria with the victorious Air Force. 1, 2, 3 P-38s. No, I'm sorry. No, those are chips underneath it. 1, 2, 3, 4 P-38s. 1, 2, 3, 4 P-38s. And then a 51 and a Dauntless dive bomber. So I don't think, yeah. Oh no, that's the Chinese guy. That's the Chinese Flying Tiger. And then we have a bunch of bombers. I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say 6, 7, 8, 9 bombers. 1 bomber in Anhui. 4 Chinese infantry. 1 Russian anti-aircraft in Shahar. 1 Chinese guy in Anhui. Infantry, artillery, Chinese in Hopai. 2 Chinese infantry in Shanghai, as well as British anti-aircraft. And then we've got 5, 6, 7, 8 British infantry in Yunnan, as well as 3 anti-aircraft, a Anzac bomber in Shan State. There's a Japanese, now converted UK factory in Hong Kong. There's a Japanese infantry in Yakut, as well as an air base. Yenisei has infantry. There are 4, 5, 6, 7 Russian infantry and 1 Chinese in Kansu. 6, 7, 8, and 5 is 13. 13 Chinese infantry in Qinghai, as well as, it looks like, 3, 4 Chinese infantry. And then the British have 2 mechs and 3 infantry, as well as 1 Chinese guy in Xikang. The Germans have 2. Now we start to see the strength of the 2 tanks and 1 mech in Kazakhstan. 1 tank up there in Urals. 1 fighter and 2 mechs in Leningrad. 1 Russian sub in 115. 1, 2, 3 fighters, 1 infantry, 1 mech, and 2 tanks in Moscow. 1 tank, 1 mech in Bryansk. And then we have 1, 2, 3 Stukas, 1 fighter, and 3 infantry and 1 Italian fighter in Leningrad. And then, what is it? 6 anti-aircraft, 4 infantry in Rostov, Italians 3 and 3 tanks, 3 mechs in Ukraine, 3 bombers, and looking like 5 mechs and 5, 10, probably 16, 17, 18 German tanks in Caucasus, as well as 3 tanks and 1 mech for the Italians. Now the British. Out of India, we have 2 divers, 1 fighter, and an Anzac infantry and anti-aircraft, and a transport in 39 for the Anzac, 1 infantry, 3 infantry in West India, as well as 2 transports off in 79, 3 tanks, 1 mech in East Persia, and 2 Aussie transports in 81, I think it is, and then 3 Aussies and 1 artillery in Persia. Looks like 3 infantry in Persia for the British, 1 mech, Russian mech, and 1 British infantry in Northwest Persia, 1 fighter, 2 tanks, 1 mech, and 2 infantry in Iraq. And then down here, the recapture force, an event, my reserves, 1 artillery and 1 transport. Over here in Egypt, 3 tanks, 4 mechs, 2 artillery, 7 men and 1 Aussie infantry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fighters in Alexandria, 2 infantry and 1 artillery. Americans have in French Equatorial Africa 4 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 anti-aircraft, with 3 transports off of the coast of French Equatorial Africa. Air base in Sierra Leone, as well as 3 destroyers, 4 destroyers, 5 destroyers, 6 destroyers, 7 destroyers, 8 destroyers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subs, 2 destroyers for the British, and 1 destroyer off of 91. And now a British destroyer in 98 and a sub in 97. And now we get into the nitty-gritty of the Axis power. 1 infantry, German infantry in Tobruk, 3 mech, 1 tank, 1 artillery, 1 bomber. Italians, 1 tank, 1 mech, 3 infantry, 1 fighter, 1 diver. Tunisia, 1 infantry, 2 British infantry, 2 German infantry, 3 infantry and 4 infantry in Morocco, 4 infantry and 3 infantry and 1 fighter, Italian fighter in Gibraltar. And then, let's see here. So there's an aircraft carrier with 2 fighters on it, a battleship, a cruiser, and a destroyer for the Germans, a battleship, 2 destroyers for the Italians, and 2 transports, a destroyer in 93, 5 transports in 95, Italian aircraft carrier with 2 German fighters on it. I think that is a cruiser, and I think that's a cruiser and a transport in the Italians. Nope, that's a destroyer and a transport in 95. In Rome, there's a fighter, 2 anti-aircraft, and a German tank. 6 German tanks. 4 German infantry in North Italy, 1 tank, 1 artillery, 3 infantry. In southern France, 1 infantry, 1 artillery. West Germany, I think. No, France itself, 1 infantry, 1 artillery. British sub convoying Normandy. British sub convoying Norway. And 2 mech in Berlin. Look at Western Europe, just sort of empty. So, and then London, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 11, 12. So 16 infantry. It looks like to me 2 French infantry, 1 mech, 5 anti-aircraft, 1 fighter. Over here, 110 has destroyer, transport, 4 fighters, 2 aircraft carriers, mech, anti-aircraft artillery, 3 infantry in Brazil, And that might be it. Oh, one guy in Greece. I think that's it. So quite a game here. A lot of things going on. It is now the American, Chinese, and German turn, and UK turn. So it is time for us to strike. This, we believe, will be the high point of the axis. Maybe they will get here, but if they do, we're hoping to smoke them. But tremendous effort at reacting to France goes first. Extremely effective. I fell for some traps. I think Carnevale would say he fell for some traps. They really did think it through. They almost won the game in turn 3, turn 4. They've got 7 victory cities on the eastern side. Of course, you see that Japan we've just poured so much attention to Japan. And now we do part 2 of the game, which is these aircraft get effective and the Americans can now concentrate on the Atlantic. So as long as Egypt can hold, I would say that the Allies look extremely good. But I was just, the visual clutter makes it hard for me to do the math, and you have to do the math. I'd say that all the time. I think Carnevale can attest to it. I always say do the math, because the math is what matters. Okay, guys, Crockett 36 out. Tremendous game, a lot of fun, very balanced.